Also, another example in this case is zero COVID policy. When we talk about zero COVID policy, we know that China has done quite a lot of cruel restrictions in China to lock people at home, let them hungry to die, and they can't go out for the treatment even when there emergency happened, and the pregnant lady cannot give the birth of babies in hospital, but they have to, instead, they have to give the birth in the street or even die in front of hospital just because of the lockdown. And also, people are sent to the quarantine camp and people suicide, people died, but no one cares. The thing is to control people. Also, the digital control, as you know, the traffic light, like those kind of social credit system, digital ones are applied to any Chinese people in China in the zero COVID policy period. However, in the zero COVID period, CCP also insists on Xi Jinping's bottom line thinking. There is one statement made by a speech made by the Chinese Vice Prime Minister Sun Chunlan in May 2020. At that time, it was right after Sun Chunlan visited Shanghai, and Shanghai was in a very cruel lockdown at that time, already for over 2 months. People are suffering there. People died there without name and even without statistic data. They are even not a number. All because Xi Jinping won't maintain so-called zero COVID case in China to enhance his power, to mobilize the whole country, all the Chinese people, and to mobilize in China to make China peacefully transfer from peacetime to the wartime. So what the Vice Prime Minister Sun Chunlan told people is he public claimed that she has visited Shanghai. She know what happened. She know how lockdown practiced in the reality. However, it doesn't matter. She emphasized everyone must unify their thinking and activities. How to unify means everything will fit Xi Jinping's spirit, Xi Jinping's thought. They have everyone, the CCP members, everyone who helps CCP to maintain the zero COVID policy, they have to do all the things the central CCP and also the State Department decided. Insist on the zero COVID policy without any hesitancy and insist on the bottom line thinking. Also to push everything to the limit. What does it mean? It means to maintain this zero COVID policy, you have to push everything to the very extreme situation. And of course, it implies that human lives never matter. Just the CCP and the Xi Jinping's decision matters. So you should not let anyone go out of, for example, you should not let anyone go out of the building, even they are hungry to die, even they are sick to die, doesn't matter. Lock them at home because that's how Xi Jinping, how the central CCP want to through lockdown and eliminate the COVID case. Actually, it means to control everyone to the very extreme situation. So this is the bottom line. What is a good thing you can get from this bottom line thinking is you can enhance your control. As you have seen that after this kind of lockdown, Xi Jinping has successfully held the 20th National Congress conference in Beijing, and he even dragged the ex-chairman of CCP, Hu Jintao, out of the conference hall in front of the foreign media. He showed his absolute power in front of the world that he is the center of CCP. He is the brain and the mouth of CCP. Everyone must conduct what he wants. They have to be loyal. And this is all based on all the details happened in China, conducted by his people, CCP members, PLA members, their followers, using the bottom line thinking. From any detail, you push it to the very extreme situation and still stick to what Xi Jinping wants on the situation. And then that will guarantee your loyalty and also will guarantee your career under Xi Jinping's regime. But human life doesn't matter. So also you can think about the Hong Kong protests happened in 2019. At that time, it was pro-democracy protest in Hong Kong because Xi Jinping wanted to destroy the very limited democracy and freedom in Hong Kong. So the bottom line thinking was also applied in that situation. So CCP insists on bottom line thinking in directing the control of Hong Kong situation. That's why you have seen they killed so many protesters. And these protesters were claimed to commit suicide in the sea, from the hill, from the building, naked, because they were beaten. So finally, they're out of injury and their clothes will tell the clothes to the public. That's why they were naked, thrown to the sea or from the building. And then the police will tell you, okay, they committed suicide and there is nothing abnormal. And also they have passed the national security law in Hong Kong to arrest so many of protesters, including the Cardinal Zen, who advocate for the basic democracy and freedom in Hong Kong. So this is something, already shows CCP's shameless, nature to the public. However, it doesn't matter. For CCP, for Xi Jinping, this is what they can afford. They don't mind their, this kind of, brazen face and also, shameless activities were seen by the world. They believe that what they can gain from this kind of, operations, activities are much higher than what they lose. They don't care about reputation. They never care about how people view them because they believe through the propaganda, through lobbying, through through their compromised partners in other government or the celebrities or through the business, they could finally keep the collaboration with the people they need and even, use these people to, bring more reputation to China. For example, like in the COVID-19 case, Dr. Fauci and Peter Daszak even pushed the Americans, all the other government to listen to their, scientific, conclusion that, praise CCP's, behavior, attitude in the pandemic. They call for the other government, especially America, to learn from CCP for their anti-COVID, activities. And these are all very ridiculous. But if you understand CCP and Xi Jinping's bottom line thinking, you will see that this is the way they manage to achieve their political achievements. Yes, it costs something who, Western countries, in Western civilizations, people should care about, like the reputation and also, humanity. All these things. But these are the least things CCP care about. They really don't care about humanism or, reputation or others. They just want aggressively to achieve what they want. So for Xi Jinping, when he asked the People's Liberation Army to study such unmanned, aircraft, and they have made the plans, made the operations to, conduct the military, purpose in United States by violating the U.S. Sovereignty. They don't care. They believe this is the bottom line that once America realizes it, they still can using this kind of lies, denial, lobbying, propaganda to attenuate the situation. As long as America not declares a war against the CCP and Xi Jinping, they still have more opportunities to change the situation. And even through the opportunities, they can further undermine the United States. So compared to what they lose, faith and trust and reputation, they have gained more opportunities to undermine America. So they believe this is a very worthy operations using the bottom line thinking. And before we move to the other topic, I think definitely you want to know how could Xi Jinping apply this bottom line thinking into the America-China's relationship. So I have found one paper published on the state-controlled medium in China, one of the biggest mainstream media, 163.com. So in this paper, published in August 2022, after Pelosi's visit to Taiwan, the author have addressed the bottom line of the China-Americans relationship. So first, I want to let you know that in America, a lot of authors, journalists can publish their opinions on mainstream media, but it doesn't mean it is exactly the same as what the U.S. government thinks about. However, it's in China. When you publish the things, even you publish it to the like the private WeChat, that kind of web page, definitely you can see the things inconsistent with CCP and Xi Jinping's principle and their instructions. So here, when we talk about this kind of mainstream media like the 163 or Sina, this kind of website, although the author can be some individuals, but if any of these words violate of CCP's principles, then that means you will not only be deleted, but also will be arrested by the police, and then you have to stay either in the prison, or you have to get some other punishment. And anyway, this is a very serious outcomes if you tell anything CCP doesn't like. So when we talk about this article talking about the bottom line between China and the US, it would sound very kind of cruel, or even you would say it is kind of conspiracy. But if you understand the communist China, you should know this is just an alternative way that CCP allows this kind of voice come out to test people's response. And this actually implied the one of the option in CCP's strategy against America. So, in another word, it fits CCP's benefits. So it was allowed to be published online. So in this article, they said, according to the normal logics, the worst situation between China and America is when America officially admit Taiwan independence, and this will trigger the war for unification and will lead the West Pacific Ocean into the military conflicts. So this is because right after Nancy Pelosi's visit to Taiwan, of course, at that time, Taiwan is the center of the China-American relationship. But now, it moved to Bongo and many others. And then this, the author said, when China and America get into the military conflict, this is very difficult for the world. It would be disaster. And also, he mentioned the most terrifying situation is if American military and the government, had lost the control. The bottom line is nuclear war between China and the US. And this kind of war definitely will bring the destroyable outcomes for all the mankind, but we have to prepare for that. So who will trigger the nuclear war? Definitely it's not US. And when the author describe the worst situation, it means that when they think about bottom, as we talked about, they always push it to the limit. And then they said, in such situation, if the American military and government lose the control, that means if the American government and also military realize CCP is evil and want to hold CCP accountable and also end CCP regime. That is the final bottom line for CCP. So they will declare the nuclear war, or even without declaration, they will launch the nuclear war, even facing to the end of all the mankind. And also, the author addressed that the rocket military means the CCP's airspace military scientist, expert Qin who is a member of Academy of Engineering in China. He had recently, at that time, got the interview. So what he has done in his own life to make him earn the honorable title as a member of the China Academy of Engineering is to design and build the very strong underground construction to guarantee the central national department and the People's Liberation Army's strategic nuclear fighting capacity. So this means they can finally survive under America's initial nuclear hits. There are people, People's Liberation Army's expert has spent all the life long and also working with so many People's Liberation Army staffs to develop and build the anti-nuclear war construction underground for CCP top leaders and PLA's top leaders. And also, they won't just survived after America fight back in the nuclear war. And at that time, the author mentioned, China definitely has an idea to eliminate all the 300 million Americans.